Clark Wiebe. I'm personal trainer over at Brady's Fitness and also personal trainer here at Canadian Protein. We're going to be going through today some warm-up routines for our shoulder and bicep tricep workout. Okay, so what we're going to start off with. So one of the issues that people have when they're doing shoulder workouts is any sort of impingements that's going on or any shoulder pain is often due to compression in the shoulder joint. Could be anything from rotator cuff tears to bicep like tendonitis, any of those sorts of things. It's going to lead to compression in the shoulder joint. And so what we're going to go through today is 4 warm-up exercises to prime your shoulders for our workout. So one of the things that Dan was complaining is that his pain in his left shoulder when he comes into overhead extension. So what we're going to do in our first part of our warm-up here is we're going to have Dan come down to the box. I'm going to have him put his elbows on the box with his palms facing up. First thing that we're going to do is I'm going to have Dan drop his head down towards the ground, and this is going to be coming through shoulder extension and a little bit of thoracic extension. I can already see here that he's a little bit limited through the thoracic spine, so I'm going to have Dan take a deep breath in, and on his exhale he's going to be pushing his chest a little bit farther towards the ground. Good. Take another deep breath in, come up a little bit, and then exhale, push down a little bit farther. Nice. So if you want to try bring this up to the next level, and if you feel like this is not enough of a stretch, what you can try doing is bending your elbows up so your palms are coming up into the air. Now Dan already is having a little bit of restrictions in his shoulders here, but I'll have him grab the dowel just like that. Okay, good. And this basically further brings his shoulder into external rotation, which will deepen the stretch. And we'll go through 2 breaths here, deep breath in and then deep breath out. You'll notice it's a little bit more restricted here. Deepens the stretch further. Good, and exhale out. Nice. So the second exercise that we're going to be doing in our warm-up here is called a prone snow angel, and it's going to basically bring our shoulder through full rotation. What we're going to have Dan do is I'm going to have him lie on his stomach with his forehead on the mat, and I'm going to have him put his arms out to the sides, with thumbs facing up into the air. Okay, good. So I'm going to have Dan first lift his thumbs up into the air as high as he can. Okay, good. Now what I want him to do is I want him to begin raising his arms up into like a Y shape and then bend at the elbow, bringing his palms like behind his head. Okay, good. Like a prisoner, very nice. Go back to that Y position. Go out to the sides. And now keep on going lower. Rotate the palms underneath and then bend at the elbows, bring your hands to the lower back. Good, let's go through that whole motion one more time. So lift up, rotate the palms around. Good, palms facing up. Go into the prisoner stance. Good. And then lift up. Trying to keep maximum height at all points in time. Good. Rotate the palms underneath just like that. And underneath. Good. Go ahead and take a little rest. So this is going to be helping to improve the rotation capacity of the shoulder joint as you're warming up for your overhead or shoulder workout. This is going to be the best exercise to do at the beginning of every single upper body exercise. It's going to be training scapular retraction and external rotation, the 2 movement patterns that people are mostly weak in that you want to activate prior to an upper body workout. I want to have Dan demonstrating the exercise. So he's going to grab the rope with an overhand grip, so thumbs facing towards him. And this variation, we're going to do a half kneeling variant. So he's going to put his knee down on the pad, good, half kneeling. This is going to take any momentum out of the equation. So then now what I'm going to have Dan do is I'm going to have him push his shoulders down away from the ears. And I want him first bring his elbows back out to the sides. Good, and then palms are rotating up, thumbs kind of coming back behind the ears. Good, pause in that position on your next rep. Good, what we're focusing, you can go through a couple of reps here. What we're focusing on here is going to be 1, pulling the elbows back through scapular retraction, but then also 2, external rotation by bringing his thumbs back behind his ears. Okay, good, go through a couple more reps. So you should be feeling it through the rhomboids in this area here and also through the rear delts and the rotator cuffs. Good, we'll go through 2 more reps. And the last one, up and hold. 3, 2, 1, good. If you're having issues with pressing overhead and having pain in your shoulder or a lack of mobility in order to extend your arm overhead, I have a variation of shoulder press here that's going to be a perfect variation for you. So what I'm going to have Dan do here is something called the single arm landmine shoulder press. The purpose of the landmine is that so he's going to be pressing more in an outward direction rather than a straight up direction. That's going to allow to compensate the lack of mobility in the overhead direction and still train the shoulders as he's improving his overhead mobility over time. So what I'm going to have Dan do is grab the landmine, bring it up to the front of his shoulder here. Good. Now, starting points in the form, you want to make sure that the bar does not drop below shoulder height. So that's going to be the lowest point of where the barbell's going to go. It's not going to go down anymore. Pull both shoulders back in shoulder retraction, nice tall posture, and then brace your abs nice and tight. Okay, good. Bring this arm out to the side here, down to the side of your body. Good. Now, what Dan's going to do is he's going to begin pressing overhead, and then he's going to be kind of like leaning into it as he goes overhead. Exactly. That'll bring him into a further shoulder extension, and his body comes back as the barbell comes down. Go ahead. Good. Nice. Inhale as the bar comes down, and then exhale, press up. Good. Inhale, only to right there. Good. And then come back up. Nice. Good. Try not to let the shoulder drop down as you come. Good. Keep it right above the shoulder. There you go. Good. And press back up. Nice. Let's go for 3 more reps. Keep the abs nice and tight. Good. Last one. Good. Try that out in your next shoulder workout. So, when training with any sort of shoulder pain, what you can do is that rather than trying to just lift heavier and heavier weights, what you want to focus on is 1, time under tension, and 2, total volume. So, as you're doing lateral raises, for example, I could take really heavy weights and I could be throwing them up like this, but what's happening is that just is going to cause wear and tear on the shoulder joint. Instead, I want to take a lighter weight and I want to have increased time under tension. So, what I'm going to do in this lateral raise variation is I'm going to keep one arm up at any given time. What that's going to do is that it's going to increase the amount of time under tension of my deltoids on every single rep because I'm holding the dumbbell up as I'm alternating from time to time. So increasing time under tension, doing this about twice a week or so, will allow you to have hypertrophy of your shoulders without causing more pain. Try it out in your next shoulder workout. So 3 key factors of hypertrophy training is going to be total weight that you're lifting, time under tension, and total volume that you're doing per week. Old school bodybuilding thinking was just lift heavier, 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 heavier. So you take 25, 30 pound dumbbells and just throw them up into lateral raises. What's gonna happen over time though is it's just gonna cause wear and tear on the joints. Instead, if you're like having pain or something like that and you need to accommodate it, decrease the total weight that you're doing, but just increase the total time under tension or the total volume that you're doing. So if you're having shoulder pain, but you still want to increase like the size of your shoulders, you can by just having higher time under tension, doing longer sets, holding the reps for longer, or increasing the total volume by doing shoulders 2 or 3 times per week. You'll still be able to get hypertrophy without causing the wear and tear on the joints quite as much. Let's talk bicep curls. Straight bar versus easy bar. Which one is right for you and why? A lot of times when people are doing a straight bar bicep curl, what I find with a lot of people is that as they're going through the curl, they're like, Clark, my wrist is hurting right in here as I'm going through the curl. The reason for that is they lack sufficient supination of the wrist in order to comfortably put the bar in their hands as they're going through bicep curl. This is the reason why the easy bar was designed. Basically what it does is it decreases supination of the arms, so of the forearms rather, so you can go through bicep curls more comfortably. Now the thing is though, is that if you have sufficient supination ability, you should be using the straight bar because the biceps not only do they control elbow flexion, but forearm supination. So you want to be training the action of the bicep, which is through supination and elbow flexion, through maximum range of motion. Try that out next bicep workout. Let's talk bicep action. Basically there's 3 actions of the bicep. The common one that's known is elbow flexion. We also know supination through rotating the palms up this way, but a forgotten about action of the bicep is actually shoulder extension. So it happens that your bicep, one of the heads of your biceps is activated when you're lifting your shoulder up through shoulder extension. So old school bodybuilding techniques is elbows come back in the bicep curl. What happens is that you're actually removing the focus on one of the heads of your bicep as your elbow's coming back through shoulder flexion. What you want to do instead is that you want to actually bring your elbow slightly forward and lifted through shoulder extension, which then trains all three actions of the biceps, which is elbow flexion, supination, which my hands already are, and elbow extension through the lift. Okay, double rope tricep extension. I like this variation a lot more because what happens with just a single rope on tricep extension, your shoulders are forced to come into internal rotation and your range of motion is restricted. Double rope allows you to have full shoulder retraction and depression and a full range of motion. Dan's gonna get set up here. So, shoulders locked back and down, bring the elbows to your sides here, okay? And then fold your elbows up, that's your starting position. Go ahead and push down and squeeze the back of your arms tight at the bottom. Good. Good. Hold the bottom for a little longer. There you go, thanks. At all points in time, nothing is moving in the torso. No movement in the shoulders, no movement in the back. All the movement is coming through the pivot of the elbow joint. Dan's doing a good job also of spreading the ropes to the bottom, which is going to get further activation of the triceps. Yeah.